So you might be wondering, wait, he's wearing a suit? He looks almost dignified. Well, everybody, welcome to the first ever segment of This Week in Film. This is the show where you're going to get my opinions on trailers, casting, general news, new projects, all that sort of stuff you might have wanted to know if you're one of the 3 people who actually watch me loyally. So without further ado, let's get started. The first thing we're going to talk about is the big trailer that just came out this week. The first thing we're going to talk about is the big trailer that came out this week. Did I say big? That's ironic, because the movie is called The Big Year. Don't worry, it's funnier than anything in the trailer. We're not going to be able to show footage from these trailers, mainly because YouTube doesn't like me very much, but I'll put the link in the description area. But that's beside the point. This movie centers on 3 guys who are all in various crises in their life, and they decide to go on a 1-year retreat going bird watching? Okay then, did you guys really have nothing better to do? Were you done counting your money and you said, hey, I need a little more? Probably. I mean, I don't think there's a huge bird watching audience that's been dying for representation in movies. Well, maybe in Minnesota. But that's beside the point. So everything you'd expect, pratfalls, and guess what happens after that? Come on, I know you're thinking it. Yeah, pratfalls. This movie looks absolutely lazy, and I can't believe this was even made. So, big year, not something I'm planning on seeing. Next up, we're going to talk about Eddie Murphy. So as you may or may not know, Eddie Murphy was selected this week to be the host of the 2012 Oscars. Now, Brett Ratner is producing this year's show. Brett Ratner just so happens to be directing a movie called Tower Heist, starring Eddie Murphy, coming out in November. Yeah, I don't think this was a call based on Eddie Murphy's pure raw talent. I mean, did you see Meet Dave? I mean, come on. But it's pretty sad when a director's best way of promoting his movie that comes out 4 months before that no one's gonna see is to put one of his washed-up stars on a washed-up award show that very few people even care about anymore. It's just not gonna help. And I'm not saying the guy's gonna do a bad job. In fact, he might surprise us all. Eddie Murphy has a tendency of being much funnier in interviews outside of movies, especially lately. But I just don't have much hope, especially after James Franco and Anne Hathaway last year. I just think the Oscars are going to bomb for the next few years. Also, isn't Eddie Murphy notorious for walking out of the ceremony when he lost in 2006 for Dreamgirls? Why do I get the feeling that his hosting is just going to be a futile campaign to get a Best Actor nomination for either Tower Heist or 1,000 Words? Sorry, Eddie, I think you're stuck playing that donkey for the rest of your career. Have fun. So those are the big stories this week. Now we're just going to go through the lightning round really fast. Mel Gibson has been selected to direct a movie about Jewish warrior Judah Maccabee. Not a vanity project at all, are we? That is ridiculous to me. I can't even fathom that. I mean, we get it, Mel. You're sorry you insulted us, and you ruined your career and can't make any more money off of it. Now, don't disgrace us even more. You're already embarrassed yourself enough. Just go home. Go live off whatever rest of the profits you have, and leave us alone. I get the feeling this is almost going to be the cinematic equivalent to John Wilkes Booth directing a movie about Abraham Lincoln. Also, the writers of Agent Cody Banks have been hired to take on the ever-mysterious project of the Monopoly movie. What are we even wasting paper and ink for? I mean, why can't we just film 2 people playing Monopoly? If you've ever played Monopoly, that is a far more intense movie than what Ridley Scott could possibly come up with. Whoever loses the game of Monopoly should win Best Supporting Actor every time, because that is the scariest performance of the year, I swear to God. And finally, Russell Crowe and Helena Bonham Carter have joined Tom Hooper's already Hugh Jackman starring adaptation of Les Mis. Why do I get the feeling we're going to be pining for some Oscars here? And that is the first ever episode of This Week in Film. If you want me to continue doing this, comment below and tell me. If you're new to this channel, subscribe, because there's going to be movie reviews and all sorts of stuff coming up. And until next time, I'm Movie Kid Mike, making sure your time is worth your money. God, I can't wait to get this suit off. It's so hot in here.